right, let's go. Blockchain crypto gang. We live right now. I'm gonna try to get this out. There's a few different stories I want to cover real quick and spit a little bit of this CryptTalk to y'all. Shout out to all the new subscribers. I noticed that the subscriber count is slowly coming up, creeping up to that 100 in a few short months. But anyway, let's do it like this, you guys. We know the halving is coming up, right? The halving is definitely something that will move the market substantially and increase adoption, increase utility, as we've already been seeing. So I want to make sure that everybody really keeps this in the proper perspective and have realistic expectations. I came across, make sure my mic is good. Make sure the mic is good. So I came across this, let me go to it. I came across this Cointelegraph article. Trader turns 13,000 into 2 million within 1 hour as meme coin frenzy continues. Now, let me say this. Of course, people will make a lot of money off of meme coins and off of altcoins and even Bitcoin, even though Bitcoin won't flip as much because of the market cap being so large that, you know, it would take a lot more money to flip it. However, let's go ahead and go into this article before I kind of explain to you why, like, the mindset of you're going to get rich quick is a dangerous one, especially for people who are new to crypto. This is why I always say, make sure that you understand the fundamentals. This is why I say study Bitcoin first. Study it, learn it, understand what it is. Then you'll understand what decentralization and blockchain is. Then you'll understand what DeFi is. Then you'll understand how to deal with these decentralized protocols like wallets and exchanges. Then you'll be able to assess different opportunities and you'll be able to weed out those that don't make sense that could be detrimental to your bottom line. And you'll understand more about finances and you'll understand like why Bitcoin is what it is. A lot of people just don't get it. They only see this as a speculative asset. They don't understand the deflationary nature of Bitcoin, of why it continues to go up in price against the US dollar. They don't understand the utility of a peer-to-peer transaction that doesn't require centralized authority, which also is an aspect of DeFi, which allows you to be able to do things that you can't do in traditional finance. Then you'll understand why all of these banks, nation states, corporations, and billionaires continue to gobble up the Bitcoin. We'll get to that later, though. So trader turns 13,000 into 2 million within 1 hour as meme coin frenzy continues. So a crypto trader turned 13,000 into 2 million, a gain of a 15,700% on April 3rd by investing in a novel meme coin. Don't follow meow, or do not fo meow, minted on the base blockchain. As told by blockchain analysis firm Look on Chain, the trader first purchased 499 million meow using 4 Ether 10 minutes after the listing of meow on a decentralized exchanges. Less than 1 hour later, the trader sold 111 million meow for 99 ETH, approximately 328,000, and currently holds 388 million meow worth 1.76 million at the time of publication. So here's the problem with that. Here's what I want you guys to understand, so you'll have a better idea and context of what happened here. Because when people see stories like this makes people FOMO into the meme coin frenzy. But if you're new or newer or not as versed on decentralized protocols, you'll never be able to do this particular maneuver that this person did, because this is several levels above what most people, what 99% of those who even hold crypto are able to do. The reason being is, if this person purchased these before it listed on a decentralized exchange, that means he already had an inside track to this project. Number one, it means he already had an inside track to the project if he was able to acquire this coin before it listed on a decentralized exchange. So most people, they don't even know how to deal with the decentralized exchange, because depending on the blockchain of that exchange, and I guess this case it was an Ether, it was a ERC20 maybe. That means you have to already hold the native currency of the blockchain that coin was created on. You'd have to, ahead of time, before it actually even listed on a decentralized exchange, you would have had to been able to maneuver to trade that coin. And you had to, and you know what I'm saying? And then when it listed on a decentralized exchange, which most people don't even know how to deal with the decentralized exchange. So this is 1 or 2 steps above that. So then once it hits the decentralized exchange, that's when when most of the public that know how to deal with the decentralized exchange had access to it, right? So that liquidity is what caused that pump. And then typically, if a meme coin gets popularity and it grows in market cap, then it may be listed. Most of them won't be. It may be listed on a centralized exchange. And that's like the 3rd or 4th wave of how these coins really start to grow. So in order, what I'm saying is this is not a typical result. The chances that you're going to get into a coin and it's going to pump 15,000% is very unlikely, even if you know how to get into these projects very early. But the fact that he was able to do this before it even hit the decentralized exchange lets you know that he already had an inside track. He probably knew some of the developers. He probably was privy to some of the information, about this project way ahead of anyone else. So he was able to get in on the ground, kind of like an IPO or ICO level. So these are not typical results. Now, don't get it twisted. You can still find different meme coins that are low enough in market cap. This really means that he got in when there was no market cap. So imagine, I'm telling you, like, if you find these projects that are under 100 million and they really have some potential to get to a couple billion, then you'll definitely see a big return. Like, this is the people who got rich off the Shiba Inus. They got in when the market cap was very low, when you had to get it from a decentralized exchange. So, for instance, if people got into Shiba Inu when it was under 40 million in the market cap and it ran up to 40 billion, then you just 1,000x plus, not 15,000x, but 1,000x plus, right? Taking it from 40 million to 40 billion, which is its peak, that's 1,000x. That would turn 1,000 into 1,000,000. That means that you had to get it when it was on a decentralized exchange before it hit the centralized exchange. Well, this person got in even before that. So what I'm saying is these are not typical results. The vast majority of you probably listening to this, or those of us, or those of you who hold crypto, don't know how to do that. So don't take these stories as this is how you're going to now set, your expectations, is what I'm saying. And not only that, if he hasn't sold and he's still holding 1.6 million worth of that meow, that could be pulled, or it could plummet by now, and he could have lost out on the opportunity to turn it into, to take his profits. That's another thing about, when you're pumping up these memes, there's only a short lifespan for these. So the cat themed meow meme token was created earlier in the day by BitGet Wallet, which stated that meow was just for funsies, nothing too serious. That means, they don't really have no utility. Want to see what the power of memes can do. Shortly after its debut on the DEX, however, meow surged in value and currently commands a market cap of 31 million. So 31 million is a very low market cap. So if he was able to pump that much, that means he definitely got in. I mean, if he got in when it was 31,000, that would only be 1,000x. So he got in pre-sale, basically. That's just not typical. Most of you are not going to be able to do that. You'd have to have your ear to the street. You'd have to know these developers that are already in these meetings before they actually created it and listed it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, don't expect these kind of things are going to be typical. Have realistic expectations is what I'm saying. I don't want you to set yourself up for failure. Yes, you can make a lot of money off these memes. You have to know how to assess them. And this is why I say, hey, you want to learn at least like, this person didn't do this and didn't already have the fundamentals of Bitcoin and decentralized protocols, right? This isn't something that some newbie, because a newbie, it's funny when I see, and I don't have that much time, but it's funny sometimes when I see that on different social media, there'll be people like, hey, I'm thinking about buying some Bitcoin. Where's the best place to buy some Bitcoin? And it'll be on Twitter or some Facebook group or something. And people will be like, oh, no, you don't want Bitcoin. You want to get like the Meow coin or, something crazy like that. And it's like, if you've never even bought Bitcoin or made a crypto transaction or used a wallet, there's no way you're going to be able to deal with a decentralized exchange where you have to hold that native currency. You have to copy and paste contract code. You have to set slippage. If you're on Binance or if you're on Pancake Swap, you have to turn your Binance into Binance Smart Chain, set the slippage, copy and paste contract codes, blah, 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 blah. It's a process that most people aren't going to be familiar with, especially if they haven't even dealt with Bitcoin. This is why I say study Bitcoin first. That way, then you'll understand these kind of things. You'll be able to assess better. And you'll know how to deal with some of these, protocols. So both meme coins, or both old meme coins such as Dogecoin and Shiba Inu and newly minted meme coins on Solana and Base have surged significantly in value due in part to the ongoing bull run. But like I said, in order to get these meme coins, like most of them aren't going to be on centralized exchanges. You're going to have to get them from blockchain specific wallets or decentralized exchanges. All I'm saying is just be realistic in what you're, trying to do if you want to be successful in this bull cycle. Now, let me switch over to this real quick. Messaging platform Telegram pivots to crypto payment for ads. So Telegram, which has a coin called Ton. I'm not really on Telegram too much. I do have a Telegram account, but I have too many social media accounts to deal with. That's why I'm not really on Discord. I'm not really on Telegram too much, even though I probably should be. And there is a lot of game that you can get from those messaging services. But anyway, throughout the early entire history, cryptocurrencies have represented the archetype innovation in search of a problem. And while they succeeded as an unregulated store of value, as well as a tool for scammer, digital assets have yet to crack the nut that Bitcoin itself was originally founded on to serve as a form of payment for goods and services. That's not entirely true. There are a lot of ways that you can use cryptocurrency as payments, but point taken. This as Telegram Messenger, the fourth most popular messaging app by active monthly users after Meta's WhatsApp, WeChat, and Facebook Messenger on Sunday, Easter, the 31st, announced that it was pivoting to crypto payments for its advertisers and crypto payments for content creators on the messaging app. So long story short is that, Ton is now being used. It's been used on Telegram. It's the Telegram Open Network, which created it. But I didn't realize that Telegram was such a big platform as far as messaging service is concerned. I didn't know it was that big. So transitioning from crypto as a currency to a payment method, as reported earlier this year, cryptocurrency's lack of reliability continues to hamstring the sector's attempt to integrate itself into a broader financial system. This is something that I spoke about before. Is crypto even really ready to scale? Overall, I would say no. I think this bull cycle is going to expose the flaws of some of these cryptos. And unfortunately, I'm concerned about Solana. As heavy as I'm invested in Solana projects, liquidity providing, staking, et cetera, it concerns me. I still have a transaction that's caught in limbo. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to recover. I have before when this has happened, but this isn't something that, like, if I'm a billionaire and I have tens of millions or a few billion in something, I'm trying to do a transaction and that transaction goes faulty, causing me to lose 30% of value, 40% of value. Yeah, I'm not going to deal with that anymore. You know what I'm saying? So for Solana to really take off, like, the reason why I like Solana is because it's so fast and cheap. But if it's not reliable, what's the point? So yeah, this is going to be interesting to watch unfold. Like I said, I'm not on Telegram enough to really be able to assess this particular situation, but it is something that's worth looking into. I think as popular as Telegram is, and now that they have this, and a lot of people that are crypto savvy are on Telegram. So these are the kind of things you're going to see more of, which is crypto specific to different social media platforms. You know, this is the idea that we seen when Facebook was trying to come out with the Libra coin, but it was such a threat that, you know, they shut it down. It was shut down by different, you know, aspects of the government. So I'm not going to get too deep into that, but, you know, I think that's just something that's pretty interesting. You have the Ton coin. Is that going to make the Ton coin that much more valuable? Is going to make it go up? Is the messaging platform Telegram going to become more popular? And because of that, you know, there's an economic incentive, you know, baked into Telegram with them having their own coin, and we'll see if that economy, that ecosystem will thrive. I don't see why it wouldn't do pretty well. And it's likely that we'll see other social media sites, social media platforms do very similar things. You know, there has been some decentralized platforms that do enter their own cryptos into their ecosystem, like Brave browser or the Brave community. You know, they have theirs. So there are some out there. I remember there was this one, it was like a TikTok kind of platform a couple years ago. It's called like Pepe or PP, or it was something, not the Pepe meme coin that you're thinking of now, but it was something similar to that. And yeah, you can get paid. You make 1 minute videos. People would tip you this and that. I just think I lost sight of it when I lost my phone that it was installed on. But these kind of things you're going to continue to see, and that's good for development and the onboarding of crypto. Now, let me get to this real quick. What else we got? Was it this or this? I want to show you. I already showed you that. Let's go this. Now, before I end it, let me say this. On the Bitcoin tip, and I know it sounds like I'm trying to proselytize, you know, people into Bitcoin. And in a way, maybe I am. However, let me say this, though. At this point, it almost doesn't make sense for us to try to get new people. For us to orange pill people almost doesn't make sense. And I say this very selfishly. Yes, very selfishly. Like at the end of the day, there's not a lot of Bitcoin. Like if people don't get it now, they're probably not going to get it. Right? Like if people see, like the last story that I did showing you that Japan's largest pension fund is considering Bitcoin. That's the largest pension fund. I'm pretty sure that they will. But even if they don't, the fact that they're looking at it, that means probably other pension funds in Japan are looking at it, which means other pension funds in Asia are probably looking at it, right? When we see one story of people looking at these kind of things as considering them as options or adopting them, that's just the one that we heard about. So if we see that, you know, there's whole countries making it legal tender, there's billionaires that are buying it publicly, there's companies that are publicly purchasing it or having to announce that they've acquired it because they are a public company. But what about the private companies that don't have to announce that? Right? What about all of the ETFs in and outside of America that are buying up Bitcoin by the hundreds of millions and billions? So you're looking at this right here, 14 years ago, because yesterday was Bitcoin Pizza Day. Someone bought 2 pizzas and it cost them 10,000 Bitcoin. Think about that. 14 years ago, $20 would get you 10,000 Bitcoin. Today, you could buy a brand new car with a Bitcoin. That's a fact. In coming years, 1 Bitcoin will buy you a house. It still does in some parts of the country, in some parts of the world. This will be seen as one of the most important events in financial history. So this, what we're talking about here is a wealth transfer that we have never seen, bigger than the oil boom, bigger than the dot-com boom, bigger than the gold rush. The difference is everyone has access to this one. So if people don't see that at this point, then they're not going to. More Bitcoin for us because there's really not a lot of Bitcoin out there. For instance, think about if all of these institutions that are buying this Bitcoin, if they started doing this 10 years ago like they are now, if they were able to get 10,000 Bitcoin for $20 and they were buying it by the millions, hundreds of millions and billions, then there literally would be no Bitcoin for us right now. Think about that. And they're still gobbling it up at a faster rate than it's actually being created. And that creation is going to take a hit by 50% just in a few short weeks. So the amount of Bitcoin that enters the ecosystem, which is 900 per day, is going to be cut down to 450 per day. So as of now, there's companies that are buying 3,000 a day, thousands per day. Just one company, just one billionaire makes purchases that are equal to 4 or 5 days of the Bitcoin being created. So imagine when that Bitcoin is cut down because of the halving, when the output is cut down. We're talking about a scarce asset that's already being bought up faster than it could be created. And it's going to be created at half the rate within a couple weeks. So if these large billionaires, these companies, these nation states, these financial institutions, et cetera, were buying Bitcoin the same amount of, using the same amount of money, or even close to, or even half of the money that they're putting into it right now, if they were doing this 10 years ago, there would be no Bitcoin. So imagine after the halving, that's why the prices are going to skyrocket. And at this rate, they are still trying to buy up all the Bitcoin. So the difference between wealth or not could very well be who's holding Bitcoin. Because a lot of these agencies that are buying this Bitcoin, a lot of these companies and corporations and ETF issuers that are buying it, they're not buying it with intention to sell in it. They're buying it with intention to custody it for you, giving you IOUs, and you're never going to see that Bitcoin. They understand that they would rather have Bitcoin and other assets, especially an asset that is as scarce as Bitcoin, and leverage that to people without the people actually being able to actually hold their own Bitcoin. This is what makes Bitcoin a generational wealth builder. This is what gives Bitcoin the ability. And this is obviously what the financial markets, this is what the rich people who monopolized the US dollar, this is what they obviously see. Because they're willing, look, Michael Saylor is selling billions of dollars of his own company stock to buy Bitcoin for his own person, not just for his company. What does that tell you? I'm saying this because, we're in a very unique time right now where we're going to see something parabolic go down. All indicators point to that. Historical patterns point to that. No, Bitcoin's not going to make you a millionaire overnight. What I'm saying is, for me personally, yes, accumulating as much Bitcoin, as much as altcoins as I do have, Ethereum and other altcoins, and even some meme coins and this and that, my biggest purchases are always Bitcoin, because I understand that, hey, at the end of the day, no matter how high Bitcoin gets, I don't plan on selling it anytime soon, but I could borrow against it and then pay it back when it's lower. I can hand the keys over to my children, and then they'll have Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. And even the money that I leverage off of these altcoins, they're going to go into tangible assets, real estate, more Bitcoin, things like that. So, just look at this, like soak this in. 14 years ago, 2 pizzas cost 10,000 Bitcoins. You needed 10,000 Bitcoins to buy 2 pizzas 14 years ago. And at that time, pizzas were probably 10 each. So you're talking about $20 would have got you 10,000 in Bitcoin. That would be like 700 million right now, or 70 million. Yeah. Think about that. No, that'll be 700 million. Let me do the math, man. I look like a fool. Let's get this right. It's either 70 or 700. I don't know if it even matters. But anyway, 10,000 times 70,000. Yeah, 700 million. $20 would have got you the equivalent of Bitcoin that would now be 700 million right now. So imagine if, we should be lucky that all of these large corporations and financial institutions and billionaires weren't interested in Bitcoin then. Because if they were, there would be none now. And the way they're buying up right now, there will be none in the future very soon, within the next few years. So choose wisely. Get your money, though. Blockchain Crypto Gang on Facebook. Also follow on Twitter at CryptTalk P. You can hit me up at CryptTalkPodcast@gmail.com. Make sure you guys like, share. Let me know what you guys think. Know your thoughts. Shout out to the new subscribers once again. Appreciate your time. Peace.